Welcome to Skinhead History. This is another episode of our series, Skinhead Stories. Today we're revisiting one of the most controversial moments in British skinhead history. The day Southall went up in flames. In 1981, a gig featuring Oi bands at the Hambrough Tavern ended in a violent clash that left a lasting impact on the punk scene. Let's dive into what really happened. Southall, a usually quiet residential area in West London, was home to a large Asian community. But tensions had been brewing since 1979, when an anti-Nazi League demonstration resulted in the death of Blair Peach, a New Zealand-born teacher. Even so, Southall was never expected to become the stage for one of skinhead's most notorious riots. Oi emerged as the voice of working-class youth, a punk subgenre that spread beyond London. Bands like the Four Skins, The Last Resort, and the Business united young people from different areas under a shared banner of rebellion. For them, the Hambrough Tavern seemed like the perfect spot for a gig, especially during the eventful summer of 1981. The Hambrough Tavern was part of London's pub circuit, and booking bigger Oi bands seemed like a good strategy to draw in more crowds. With the Four Skins, The Last Resort, and the Business on the lineup, the night was set to be explosive, but not in the way anyone expected. From early on, the atmosphere in Southall was tense. Groups of Asian youths began gathering on the streets, anticipating a confrontation. As the bands and their followers started arriving, tempers flared. Small acts of vandalism and verbal clashes were just the beginning of what would become a night of chaos. By the time the Hambrough Tavern was packed, around 300 Asian youths had gathered across the street. The police were present, but chose not to intervene, allowing the situation to reach a boiling point. Inside the pub, the show continued as usual, but outside, violence was escalating. While the Business, The Last Resort, and the Four Skins played their sets, stones and bottles began flying toward the pub from outside. Windows were smashed, and fear spread inside. Despite the chaos brewing, the bands kept playing until the situation spiraled out of control. As the situation worsened, the police finally intervened, but it was too late. Molotov cocktails were thrown, and the Hambrough Tavern was soon engulfed in flames. Inside, attendees armed themselves with whatever they could find. It was a matter of survival. The police escorted the bands and their fans away from the scene while the pub burned. From across the river, they watched as the Hambrough Tavern was destroyed by fire. The real target seemed to be the pub itself, a symbol of the white presence in the area, rather than the bands or skinheads. The Southall incident had a devastating impact on the Oi movement. The media wasted no time associating the genre with racism, and bands like the Four Skins and the Business lost contracts. Oi went from being a subculture to a symbol of controversy, burdened by stereotypes that would linger for years. Southall was a turning point. It showed how Britain's social and racial tensions intertwined with the punk scene. Oi, which aimed to be the voice of the working class, ended up being entangled in conflicts far beyond the music itself. That's it for this episode of Skinhead Stories on the Skinhead History channel. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the skinhead culture. See you next time.